Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions regarding this watch. And regard this watch, what a machine from Patek Philippe. This is a 2016 launch that was made through 2024, at which point it was discontinued. It's the 5160/500G-001 officer style case, based on the 5159 retrograding Perpetual Calendar. This is the full gun engraved variant. Now, you may be wondering, why isn't this the 5160G? Well, that actually existed. It came out in 2010 alongside a rose gold equivalent, and that was a very different kind of watch, made in probably less than 24 pieces with Roman numerals transferred to the dial. This is an applique black and white gold Breguet numeral dial, so this has a different reference. It's the 5160/500G. Now, the watch is reasonably compact, although the lugs do mitigate some of the benefits of the size, and it wears a little large. I'll talk about that in a moment. But 38 in diameter, 12.2 millimeters thick. It is quite slim. 46.5 from lug tip to lug tip. At face value, that doesn't seem that big. And then 20 millimeters is the spacing between the lugs. We're going to throw it on my wrist so you have a better sense of how it wears in practice. Now, this strap is stiff. It's not broken in. I have to pull it kind of tight. But you can see, just like a Breguet with these Pastille-style lugs, the officer's watch has the feel of a pocket watch converted to a wristwatch. And that's exactly the idea. But the result is that it wears more like a 40, maybe a 41 millimeter round watch. These lugs are kind of unyielding, so just keep in mind that this is going to wear like a 40 or a 41. If that fits fine on your wrist, this is going to fit fine on your wrist. I'd recommend for a 15 centimeter circumference wrist and up, especially as the strap breaks in. You can see how those lugs are, despite their shape, nevertheless inboard of the edge of my wrists. Now, it is a thin watch, and with a domed bezel, it will slide underneath the dress cuff. The strap is high grade. Not too much to say about straps, but it always dignifies a fine watch to have a strap of commensurate quality. Large rectangular scale, symmetrical scale, alligator leather, always one of the most expensive cuts of the beast. Sort of a semi-gloss finish. It's got a folded edge, a monotone stitch, calfskin on the bottom. No crimping, no gouging, brand new Patek Philippe strap. You're wondering, where are the pull-tab spring bars? This watch doesn't use them. This is an officer's watch, so this is the style of watch, granted in historically less ornate form, but it's the style of watch that would have been worn by servicemen in World War I, when it was often impractical to carry a watch that required a free hand or a pocket. And so the idea was you would convert a pocket watch to a wristwatch by welding on lugs, and then using screws and bars to attach the strap to the watch. And so that's exactly what we have right here. We have screws and bars, and you can see the exquisite level of detail. Even the screws have been engraved. So screws and bars are also a more secure attachment than a spring bar, which is why I really prefer this. It's the kind of thing an expensive and heavy watch deserves. Also, you can see how this watch has a lot of elements that would have been characteristic of a pocket watch. It really does look like a pocket watch that's been welded to create a wristwatch. Onion-style crown. You've got a solid caseback with hunter action, which is to say it opens up just like that. And then on the dial side, we have these lovely pre-Art Deco hand designs, a dial that has been freehand engraved. That's not done with a lathe, that's done with a burin. We have a very sort of subtle dark blue Arabic numerals for the minutes and the seconds outboard of the hours. Those are a dark blue color right there. Perpetual Calendar, day, month, leap year phase, and then a retrograding date with a lovely, again, pre-Art Deco font. Breguet-style Arabic numerals, blackened in white gold, just like the hands. And then the watch features an elaborate and never duplicative freehand engraving across all of its surfaces. And this is important because if you are responsible for engraving a large gold case and you make a mistake, you start over with a new case. So this brooks no imprecision. And as you can see, even the crown has been exhaustively detailed. A really handsome and really precise work of art by an artisan at the top of his or her game. And this is one of the few Patek watches that has a model-specific buckle. You can see the single deployant folding clasp. As with most Patek clasps, it uses a radial spring internally, but the buckle has been entirely engraved. Okay, turning it all over now, we can see the back of the watch with Patek Philippe in a vintage logo format with all sorts of florisant, or banknote scrolling as it's sometimes called. The florisant is executed and then slightly blackened to create distinctions between its different focal planes. Now, opening all this up, you can see they've also engraved the circumference of the caseback. This is a caliber 324. The very latest versions of this watch in rose gold do use the new 26-330, but this is the 324 unidirectional automatic winding. It's got ceramic bearings for greater efficiency, 45-hour power reserve, 6-position adjustment, 30 joules, 4 hertz beat rate, perpetual calendar, moon phase, retrograde date, a Patek Philippe seal, anti-magnetic silicon hairspring, free-sprung gyromax style balance, and these were attested as running no worse than -3 + 2 seconds per 24 hours as they left the factory. The perpetual calendar gives you a calendar system that is able to deal with any irregular length month or leap year up until the year 2100, and then the moon phase only needs to be corrected once every 122 years. So it's not a specific date on the calendar, it's just a correction interval for that. The movement's nicely decorated. I can't show you too much of that just because of the presence of the Hunter case back here. But what I can show you is that the watch is very nicely executed, and the bevels are started mechanically but finished manually. There's engine-turned perlage, there's striping in linear and circular form, polished screw heads with chamfer slots, a lot to love. And if you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details. And because someone will ask, no hacking, 30 meters water resistant, don't take it in the water. Now you know everything there is to know about the 5160 500G.